This webinar will show you how to create content in the Brightspace iLearnNYC environment. The agenda for this presentation will show you how to use the content tool to post and organize course content and material, understand the organization and hierarchy of the units, lessons, and folders, and show you the different types of files that could be added. We're also going to learn how to hide content from viewers, add embed code and video links and websites. We're going to pull docs from Google Drive or OneDrive, and then I will show you how to add and import standards and align them to your course material. Let's go to my demo course and get started. So right now we're in a course that already has some content in it. The content tool is located on the top of your website on the nav bar. It's right here. I'm going to call your attention. The nav bar gives you quick access to some of the tools that are already in the course. Before I dive in to show you how to build, let me just show you what this course looks like. So this course already has some content that's in there. I just want to call out some things here on the left. This is where they are. They're organized by units, and the way you add a unit is you would click on right at this plus new unit. The way you would add material to the unit, you could add existing material, or you create new material right here. And this little gear here allows you to set up pacing, okay? And this kind of is a meter, and it has a chart of all the standards that were added to the course, and this, according to this course, 24% of it has been aligned to the standards. Okay. I also want to call out here, when I go to the left of a unit, you get these 8 little dots, or what if you want to call them, the waffle, and these allow you, and you're going to see this throughout the course, especially if you open it up, you could kind of move things around in here. If really quick and fast, it's like a drag and drop. You could move anything around. If you wanted to move a unit around, if I wanted to move this unit, you know, up here, or I wanted to move it down here, you have that option. When you plus a unit, the system generates a color. I also want you to notice right here, there's arrows. That means there's material in each of these units. Down here, we have a unit that has no arrow, which means there's nothing in this unit. So when I click on a unit, you'll notice that there's a lesson, and then there's material in here. I want to call out that there's 3 levels of organization. So when you plus a unit, that's the level 1. It's kind of like a folder right here. There's just this, as when I click on it, there's nothing in it. You have to start adding things in here. Then there's the second level, which is optional, which if you have a unit, you might want to break it down into lessons. And then there's a third level, which is your material. Now, you can bypass this second level and just have this level and just start adding material. Also, note that you can name your unit or your lessons anything you want. It could be by topic, chapter, or week, or month, or due dates. It's any way you want to organize it. I also want to call to your attention right here, this I that has a line through it. Right now, this is hidden from students. Anytime you start building and adding, the system will automatically make it not visible to the viewer. So what you would have to do is you would have to click on the course and then click on the top here, and now it becomes visible. And if you want to make it invisible, so those are your basic organization of how you would add the content. If you click on this little meter here, this shows the standards that have been added to the course, and this shows which units have been aligned to the course. And right up here, you could add or remove standards. Right now, in this particular course, only 24% of the standards have been aligned. Of course, the goal is, as you're building, to get 100% of these aligned to all your content. This little gear here allows you to set up pacing. You don't have to do that, but kind of gives you some organization as far as when things are due. The students would not see this. There's other ways in the course that you could set due dates. I just want to also let you know here that there's many different types of material that you can add in here. Once you add something in here, you can just kind of preview it in the window here. So here is a link to a video from YouTube. This is what we call the HTML. You can type, paste, put anything in here. You can also pull in, as we said, from Google Drive, okay? And here's a presentation from Google Drive. You can also pull in, if you had a game, this is from CK12, there was embed code, so I was able to embed this. Okay, so now I'm going to go into my other course, which is probably going to look a lot more similar to what you're going to see the first time that you go in. Go into my training course. And I'm going to go into my content. And right now, as you can see, there's no content, but I'm going to start building. So I'm going to click on New Unit. And basically, this is the title page of the unit. I'm going to call it, I'll just call it Functions. And in here, you have what we call the HTML editor. You might be familiar with these tools in Word and Google Docs. In here, you could pull in a picture. I could pull this from my computer. Just pull some pictures in here. Oops. Go to my documents and go to my functions. And let me just pull in a picture in there. Then I click on Add. I believe it's a vending machine. This also helps students who are visually impaired, and it'll read to them what the picture is. And there's my picture. I could, adjust my picture. I could also add some text to this. Maybe it's the objectives that I'm going to cover, or you can put your essential question. I'm going to save that. And right now, this has no content in it. It just has a little, description and a picture of what my course is going to be. And as you can see, it's hidden from students. I'm going to start off with, when I'm teaching functions, I'm going to have multiple lessons. So I'm going to click on Create New. And notice right here, I could add a new lesson. I'm going to call it Lesson 1. Again, this is a title page. And I can add in here what Lesson 1 is going to be about. And I'm just writing, let us learn about input and output. And you can put a lot more information in here if you want. So that's my Lesson 1. Now I want to start putting some material in here. So again, I'm going to create new. Perhaps maybe I want to start off with adding a video, and I have here a video on what is a function. And I'm going to go back to my course. I copied the URL link. I'm going to create new, and I'm going to paste that URL link, and I'm going to type the display name. Notice how you have two options. You could embed on the page or open a new tab. The recommendation is to embed in the page because students won't have to link out. And embedded right into the courses, we have this YouTube video. I can also bring in, perhaps if you have a Padlet. So I'm going to create new. Now, Padlet has some HTML code, so I'm going to go to my HTML document, and I'm going to title this Functions in the Real World, and then I am going to give some directions. Click on the below Padlet to share functions in the real world. So I'm going to go to Padlet. I have my Padlet open here. I am going to click on share, and I am going to get my embed code right here. I'm going to copy it. And right here, as we said, we have my HTML editor. I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to paste my code, and should have pasted my Padlet. Let's see what happens. And right in here, I have my my Padlet. And what happens is students don't have to link out. Right in here, they can post. I could pop this out to make it a little bit bigger, and I could students could start writing in here, you know, and I would post it. Escape. And the whole time I've been in the course, right in here. The other thing I could do is I can pull in a PowerPoint that I have on my computer. So that would be, I'm not creating new, it's already existing. So I'm going to click on Add Existing, and I'm going to browse my computer, and I'm going to find a PowerPoint that I have saved, and I'm going to click on Open, and right in here, it will embed my, it's a little bit of a big file, so it takes a while, a few minutes to kind of upload. As we're waiting for that, oh, there it goes. It's right here. So this has my whole PowerPoint that students can go through. I could also add, if I had any content built in from Google Drive, again, I would go to Add Existing because it's already built out. First time you would do this, it would prompt you to log in, but because I've logged in many times, it remembers. And I have here a file about input and output, and it pulled in my, I had some information for students to read about input and output machines. So as you can see, there's many different things that you can pull in. I could also pull in if I had a game that I wanted students to look at. I have here, I'm on CK12, and this has some interactive games on using input and output. And So I have a game that I want the students to use, and with this game, I could pull in this link, and I'm going to copy this link that's here, and I'm going to go back here, and I am going to click on my lessons, and I'm going to create new, and any website here can be embedded. I'm just going to do, I'm going to call it a game, and then I'm going to click on, sorry, 1 second, my toolbar. I'm going to save it. And here we have a game that students can play. Now, I just want you to note that as we were building, all of these are hidden. So I'm going to unhide it. Okay, and I'm going to unhide it. And the other thing I want to point out is if you do want to change anything, you can click on these 3 dots here. These are called the ellipses, and you can edit, and you could change the title, or you can delete, or you can reorder, or you can move things around. The last thing I want to show you is how to import standards and then align the different material that we put in with a standard. Right now, as you can see, the meter has 0%. So the way you would import the standards is you would go to the course admin tool. This is in the nav bar. The course admin tool has every single tool that's in the course. And I'm going to scroll down to assessments, and I'm going to click on standards. And I'm going to import standards, and your jurisdiction is New York. And here we have New York. You're going to pick your subject. We're in math, and I am going to pick the next gen K through 8, and I pick my education level. And right here, it asks you which ones you want to populate in this course. And, you know, when you click on the down arrow, it gives you even further breakdown. And, you know, it depends what you want to add and what you will be teaching in this course. I'm going to be doing functions, and there's only like 2 of them in here. But let's say I wanted to add expressions and maybe statistics, and I'm going to import them. So I could always go back and remove things if I've put too many in here. So now these standards are added to the course, and the way I would align them is I would go back to my content, and I would click on the material that I would like to align. So let's see this video. I want to align it to a standard. I would click on the elliptical. I would click on View Standards, click on Edit Standards Alignment, and I would pick on the standard that is aligned to this this item. And I'm click on Save Changes. And right now, as you can see, 5% of this is aligned. Okay. Then if you want to align the next material, this is a Padlet. Maybe I want to do this PowerPoint. Again, View Standards, Edit Standards, and then you would, you know, align which standards go with that particular material. The standards have been added, and as you align, this meter will increase. So the last thing I want to show you is how the student will view the material. Right now, we're viewing it in the teacher view. So you will have this ability. I'm going up to my name, and I'm going to pull down my name, and I'm going to view it as a student. This is the home page. This is what the student would see, but they would click on content. and they would click on Get Started. And the student would see that little intro that we did on functions, and then they would use these arrows to navigate. Or in lesson 1, this has the video, then they can do the Padlet, this has the PowerPoint, and this has the rules for input and output. This has a little game that they can play to practice input and output. This is, they don't have to go to anywhere else. They stay within the course, and now they're done. And they can move on to the next activity. I'm going to go back as a teacher to the teacher mode. And thank you for viewing this. And if you need any additional information or help, please visit our website at iLearnNYCDOE.org.